diving into Menagerie by Rachel Vincent. And anybody who knows me knows that I am a huge Rachel Vincent fangirl. And so, yeah, this book was published in 2015. I picked this up maybe a couple weeks ago and I just finished it not too long ago. And yeah, let's dive into the back, see what we're gonna be getting ourselves into. When Delilah Marlowe visits a famous traveling carnival, Metzger's Menagerie, she is an ordinary woman in a not quite ordinary world. But under the macabre circus big top, she discovers a fierce, sharp-clawed creature lurking just beneath her human veneer. Captured and put on exhibition, Delilah is stripped of her worldly possessions, including her own name, as she's forced to perform in town after town. So, straight from the back, we know that our key player is going to be Delilah, and then we'll be introduced to the other cast of characters that make up the menagerie. We have Gallagher, we have Eric, we have Romilly. Like, it's a lot going on, okay? And I love this book so much, not just because I'm a Rachel Vincent fangirl, but because there is something very, very deep about this book, being stripped from everything you know, your culture, your home, your job, everything, and given a new job in a new world and a new life, and they took your name, and okay. So it's a very, very deep, and it's dark. Okay, I have to just lay it out there. It's deep and it's dark. All right, and very emotional. I was invested from really like the first couple of pages. I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and sit down and prepare for this. All right, and I have to say that I was not disappointed from Rachel. So just going into the meat of the story, all right, we have Delilah. She finds out that she is this creature, which remains a mystery throughout most of the book. We don't know what she is until maybe, I want to say, we go into the second act and we kind of find out what's going on. But this creature that's just underneath her human veneer comes out, presents herself when she sees a werewolf pup getting abused, and one of the handlers is like trying to shock her with a cattle prod, and she's just like a little girl, you know. So Delilah, just seeing that injustice and really not even wanting to be there in the beginning, but it's her birthday and her boyfriend had got the ticket, so she was like, I should go. But she didn't want to be there, and then seeing that happen, then, you know, that just kind of added to everything, and then boom, she becomes this creature that no one has ever seen before. It's like, what is this, right? She wounds this man so severely that he starts to hurt himself with the cattle prod, and from there she's thrown into jail, she's sold, she's chained, she's given new clothes. Listen, she was no longer human, okay? And in this world, the universe that Rachel has created, there are werewolves, there are minotaurs and kelpies and mermaids and all of these different mythological I know the word, mythological creatures that exist and that are kind of out in the open and not so much creatures of myth anymore. They were workers and they had farms, and you know, but then all of their rights and everything gets taken away from them by this event that happens all across the US, and you know, suddenly they were just nothing, right? And they call them cryptids. So all of the cryptids, they don't have any rights. So if you don't have any rights, you can't have property, you can't have a car, you can't do anything, all right? You can't be free. And that leaves people like Metzger to, you know, kind of gather them up and, you know, treat them however they want to treat them and enslave them and make money from them. Okay. So you have all of that happening. It really, really hits home in a lot of different instances. I can't reveal what Delilah is, because like I said, that's a mystery for about a good third of the book. And so I won't say what it is. Now, one thing about this book, because I mentioned there are a lot of characters, and a lot of characters is okay, but I found myself kind of getting lost in who's who and who's what, you know. And one instance that like really sticks out to me was like when, because it's told in different perspectives. So I got to Charity's perspective, and I'm like, now who in the world is Charity? So I had to go back to the front of the books, like, oh, okay, that's her mama, you know. So that happened, and I did that a few times where it's just like, okay, who is, wait a minute, what? So yeah, so you kind of, you know, lose track of who's who, who's what, like, I don't know. So all of that happens. It's very decently paced. Like, I could not finish this book fast enough, and I hated to put it down. When I first started reading it, I read it till about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I was just like, oh, okay. I was trying to keep my eyes open, and yeah, so it took me longer than I wanted to finish this book. But when I was done, it honestly could have ended with this book, because everything kind of came full circle anyways. So it could have ended with this book, and I would have been at complete peace, and I still would have been like, oh, Menagerie. But this is book 1 of the trilogy, and I have all of them. Of course, whether I like this book or not, I was going to have all 3 of them, and I was going to read all 3 of them. So as soon as I put this book down, I picked up Spectacle. You see my little makeshift bookmark. I picked this book up, and then the 3rd book is Fury. So I have all 3 of them, and you know, just kind of picking up. Spectacle picks up 3 months after Menagerie ends. I'm not gonna tell you what happens in the end of that one, but this one picks up 3 months after all of that good stuff goes on, and you know, we're right back into the thick of it. So I'm just a fan. All right, definitely a fangirl. Have I said that? Yes, I did. And I think I went on Rachel Vincent's Instagram, and I was like, have I ever told you that you're one of my favorite authors? And she was like, oh wow. So it was another fangirl moment for me, but you know, that's neither here nor there. These birds are really talking back there. All right, so yeah, so I'm so excited about continuing this series with all 3 of these books. Okay, I picked these up used from Amazon. I think these 2 are like old library books. Like got King County Library System going on there. You know, shout out to them. But the book, it is in good condition. So yes, have you read it? Have you thought about it? Are you a big Rachel Vincent fangirl like me? Because if you are, leave a comment down below so we can talk about all of this stuff that's going on. So yes, I'm really excited about going into Spectacle. I cannot I'm so like invested in this series, but I have so many other books to read, and I know that, you know, I can't just dive completely into it because, you know, I got a lot of stuff on my roster. but I did start on it. I did. I don't know if I'll be doing a book report about it, because I kind of keep to, you know, book one of the series, and I don't want to, you know, as you go on into deeper into the series, then it gets harder to not include spoilers. And I like things to be spoiled for me, but I don't like to spoil it for other people. So I'm not going to do that to you guys. So yes, that is Menagerie. What did you think about it if you read it? Did you like Delilah's character? One thing that I think that I honestly loved about Delilah's character is that she wasn't a weakling. Like, she was not afraid to say what was on her mind, even though she was in chains, okay? Her hands was handcuffed. She had shackles on. Listen, she had all that stuff going on, but she will still drop the F-bomb, okay? Like, just straight up. And will tell them people what's on her mind. And then the huge, oh man, it's just, I get so excited when I think about it. Like, I'm just, I'm still like, Menagerie. So anyways, I could go on all day, but I'm not going to. All right, guys, happy reading.